Good morning, everybody. Today we will start our chapter number 4, that is process and basis of accounting. I hope after doing the practical portion, that is your journal and accounting question, so many concepts that you learn in chapter number 1, 2 will be clear to you, that like the basic accounting terms, basic fundamentals, and today whatever the process or the basis of accounting that we will learn, like you did journal, and you will also learn to do ledger, trial balance. So many things are there that we discuss in the fundamental as well. So what is the process of doing all these steps, and as well what are the basis of accounting? So today we will learn in this chapter. If I talk, the learning objective of the chapters are, it is preparation of, process of accounting by recording the business transaction to the preparation of trial balance. The next is our basis of accounting. After that, accrual basis of accounting, distinction between cash basis of accounting and accrual basis of accounting, and hybrid or mixed basis of accounting we will learn in this. Let's go ahead with first topic, that is your process of accounting. See, process of accounting. Process of accounting is given to you in the form of this flow chart. If you study this flow chart so well, you just come to know it is absolutely like that you did in the accounting cycle in the first chapter. In this way, that is your accounting cycle. When we show the accounting as a cycle, then all the steps are to be shown in the cyclic form. But when you show it as a process, it is to be shown like this in a horizontal flow. One step is to be taken after the another step. Like first of all, identification of the transaction is to be done. As I told you earlier about the identification in chapter number 1, I explain all these steps. I'll brief only in this lecture. So identification means, first of all, it is to be identified whether the transactions are monetary in nature or non-monetary. Because as per the feature of accounting, it is very much compulsory that only the financial transaction of the business are to be recorded in the books of account. If there is any non-financial transaction, non-monetary transaction, it cannot be recorded in the books of accounts. Next is the preparation of voucher. Yes, this is the very important topic that you are learning in the accounting process. You have not learned it in accounting cycle, because in accounting cycle, the major step related to the accounts for preparation of account are to be considered. But in the process, each and every basic step is also considered over there. So whatever the transaction you have identified, and voucher is to be prepared. Whatever the voucher of that transaction is to be prepared, what is to be written in that what is coming to the business and what is going out. But we will not write it coming out, coming in or going out. We will just debit it or credit it. Debit on the basis, debit or credit on the basis of the rules. If you remember, before doing the chapter journal, I told you the 3 basic rules. So on the basis of those rules, it is to be identified that what is to be debit. Journal entry is not to be made. It is only to be considered there that the what item or what transaction is part of transaction is to be debited and what transaction of part is to be credited. When we do the chapter of voucher, in which I'll just let you know to prepare a voucher, and we will do the practice of preparation of the voucher as well, then it will be clear to you. By the time you just keep in your mind that after identifying the transaction, the vouchers is to be prepared. Recording in the books of original entry. Yes, recording in the books of original entry. Books of original entry are all those books in which the transactions are to be recorded first time. The original data is to be recorded in the books So those books are known as books of original entry. It may be for the small scale of business, all the transactions are to be first of all recorded in the journal. But in the large scale business, what they did, they don't prepare the journal only, they just prepare all the subsidiary books. One of the chapter we will do later on. We will do also one of the chapter in which you just come to know that how the subsidiary books are to be prepared. Next, posting to ledger. Whether you just enter the transaction in the journal or in the books of subsidiary books. In any of the original books, you entered it first. After that, it is posted to be the ledger. And what is ledger? Ledger means the classification of the accounts. Whatever the accounts taken place in the business transaction, it is to be classified separately. Like the capital has a separate account, Sohan, Mohan, Ram, Sham, furniture, machinery, stock, debtors, creditors, expense, income, everything has its separate account, and that classified account is known as the ledger. And when we enter the transaction first in the books of original entry, after that it is to be posted in ledger. Always remember, the entries are to be entered in journal, posted in ledger. It never be posted in journal. Posting is related to journal, while the recording or journalizing is related to the books of original entry. After preparation of journal ledger, a complete summary of all the balances of all the ledger account is to be prepared. All the summary is to be prepared, and that summary of balances of books of accounts is known as trial balance. Like with the help of that trial balance, financial statements means the final accounts are to be prepared. What are the final accounts? These are the trading and profit and loss account as well as the balance sheet of the business organization. These final accounts, these financial statements just depict us all the information that is related to the profitability as well as finance of the business. The profit and loss account let us know that what is the profitability of the business, whether the business is having the profit or bearing the loss. Along with that, the balance sheet states all the financial position of the business. So in this way, by preparing financial statement, a businessman or an entrepreneur, moreover, all the users related or interested to the business books of accounts, they just come to know that what is the actual position of the business. So in this way, the process is to be completed. Let's recall what the steps we have discussed. The first of all, it is the identification of the business transaction, then preparation of voucher, then recording on books of original entry, then posting to ledger, then preparation of trial balance and financial statements. Let's move ahead. It is the explanation is written over here. I explain each and everything to you in the explanation. You have to read it yourself. If you find any difficulty, feel free to ask your queries. Now, the basis of accounting. Everything has some base to prepare it. Very similar to that, when we do accounting, that accounting has two bases. One is your cash basis of accounting, another is your accrual basis of accounting. Cash basis of accounting is that basis in which incomes are not recorded unless they receive in cash. Similarly, expense are recorded only when they are paid in cash. In the another word, if I say the credit transactions are not to be recorded at all and are ignored till the cash is actually received or paid for them. Means when you do the cash basis of accounting, you have to make yourself very much clear. Very much clear you have to make yourself. What is to be done in that case? You have to clarify that whether this is if it is income, whether it is received or not, if it is expense, whether it is paid or not. If the income is received in cash and expense is paid in cash, then it is to be considered in the cash basis of accounting, unless it will not be recorded whether it received or paid. So cash basis of accounting is just only consider all the cash transaction, whether it is received or paid. Like it is given over there that whatever the excess is there, thus the profit, merely the excess of the actual cash received in respect of the sale of goods, and the other income over actual payment in respect of purchase of goods like wages, salary, rent, etc. I hope you remember in the basic accounting term, you people come to know that what are the expense and what are the incomes of the business. Income or profit is to be calculated with the help of receipt and payment account. And moreover, this type of basis is to be used by the lawyers, doctors, and chartered accountants. If we talk about the advantages, it is very simple, very realistic, and very satisfied the conservation instinct of many people. Because those people like the lawyer, doctor, chartered accountant, these people usually are having all the transaction in cash. Have you feel like when you go to any lawyer or any doctor and CA, you just told them, you just please do my work on credit, I'll pay you later. No, it never be happened. Whenever you just go visit to a doctor, first of all, you have to make a slip, you have to pay the charges first, then you can have the consultancy. It is very much strict. So I'm talking about generalized, exceptions can be there. So in the generalized manner, these people always just have their transactions in cash. The second point is it does not require the use of the estimates and personal judgment. Absolutely. In the cash basis of accounting, whatever we receive, whatever we pay, it is to be recorded in the books of account. There's a very simple concept. What is to be recorded in the books of account? Whatever you received in cash or whether whatever you paid in cash. You no need to make any personal judgment. You no need to do any estimate. That's it. Whatever is actual position, it is to be considered over there. Now, third, it is suitable for those enterprises where the most of the transactions are on cash. Now, if we talk about the disadvantages, yes, it don't give the very true and fair, because many times this happened, the businesses depend. If we accept these kind of professional, if we talk about the other business enterprises, it cannot be work only on the cash basis. So many transactions that are outstanding, due, accrued, unearned, prepaid, so many things are there. So it is not easy to ignore these transactions and calculate the profitability of the business. Suppose if you ignore these transactions and prepare the profit or loss of the business, that will not be true. That will not be correct at all, because you consider only whatever that you receive in cash or paid in cash. What about these rest of the transaction that's going on in the huge amount in the business? Because business cannot be survive without having these terms, like the outstanding expense definitely will be there in any of the business. Prepaid expense will be there in any of the business. Accrued income, unearned income. Business cannot be survive in the absence of these transaction at all. So it is to be recorded definitely. So it is does not give the true and fair picture of profit and loss and financial position of the enterprises, because it ignores the outstanding in cash, prepaid expense, accrued income, income received in advance, etc. It does not follow the matching principle of accounting. For example, the acquisition of goods will have to be treated as an expense of the period in which the payment is made, instead of period in which the benefits are derived from them. There is a great responsibility. There is a great responsibility of the manipulation of profit in the cash basis of accounting, because sometimes the payments either may be the delayed or may be the made earlier. Very similar to that, the income can be postponed or can be collected earlier. Moreover, the Company Act 2013 means any of the Company Act, in fact, does not recognize this type of accounting, this basis of accounting. Let's move to the next. After doing cash basis of accounting, we will do accrual basis of accounting. We'll do accrual basis of accounting. Under this basis of accounting, the recorded incomes are recorded when they are earned or accrued. It doesn't matter it is received. If it is earned or if it is accrued, it is to be recorded, irrespective of the fact whether the cash is received or not. Sales made on credit will be included in the total sale of the period. Similar to that, expenses are recorded when they are incurred or become due, not when cash is paid for them. Rent due to landlord but not paid will be treated as an expense for the period when it is due and not in the period when it is paid. Hence, in the accrual basis, the profit or loss of a particular period is the result of matching the revenue earned and expense incurred during the period. So what I want to say, this concept states us that whether any income received or that is accrued to receive, whether any expense is paid or due to pay, note hardly matters that it is still not paid in cash or it is still not paid in receive in cash, whether it is paid or due to pay, whether it is received or due to receive or accrued to receive, that is to be considered. In the another words, if I say it considered the outstanding expense, prepaid expense, accrued income, income received in advance for the preparation of financial statement. Under the Companies Act 2013, all the companies are required to maintain their accounts according to the accrual basis of accounting. So all the companies are required to maintain their accounts according to accrual basis of accounting. Whatever the disadvantage of cash basis, it becomes the advantage of this. See how. If I talk about the advantage, it discloses the true profit or loss of a particular period. It also depicts the true financial position of the business at the end of a particular period, because it takes into account all the transactions related to a particular period and takes into account all the adjustment like outstanding expense, prepaid expense, accrued income, and income received in advance. The another advantage is it follows the matching principle of accounting. The third one, there is a consistency in the computation of profits of different year in accrual basis of accounting, because it makes a distinction between the capital and revenue expenditure. It recognized by the Company Act 2013, but it also has two disadvantages. It is not as simple as the cash basis of accounting, and it requires the use of estimates and personal judgment. Now, distinction between the cash basis of accounting and accrual basis of accounting is to be done, and it is very important. So if we talk about the recording of transaction, the cash transaction are to be recorded in cash basis, while the credit transaction as well as cash transaction both recorded. Timings, the incomes are recorded when it is received in cash, but incomes are recorded whether it is received in cash or accrued to receive. Only those expenses are recorded which have paid in cash, but all the expenses are recorded whether it is paid in cash or not paid in cash, that is due to pay. Now, it is considered all the outstanding expense, prepaid expense, accrued income, and income received in advance. The another name of income received in advance is the unearned income also. This basis of accounting is taken into consideration all these items. If I talk about the legal position of the business, this basis is not recognized Company Act 2013, but this basis of accounting recognized the Company Act 2013. With the help of cash basis of accounting, does not ascertain the correct profit or loss. Moreover, because it not record the complete transaction of all the cash as well as credit. But on the basis of this, the correct profit or loss is to be calculated, because complete record of all the cash and credit transaction is to be recorded. Suitability. It is suitable for the professional people like doctors and lawyer, but it is adopted by the business enterprises with the profit motive. The last one is the hybrid and mixed basis of accounting. If we create a mixture of both, then it becomes the hybrid basis of accounting. The revenue and assets are recorded on the cash basis, where our expense and liabilities are recorded on the accrual basis only. Please consider it. All the revenue and assets are to be recorded on the cash basis, where the expense and liability are recorded on the accrual basis. Usually the professional people such as doctor, lawyers, etc. adopt this method and prepare the receipt and expenditure account for ascertain their net income during the year. They ignore their outstanding income, but they take into consideration all the outstanding expense. The idea is to claim the deduction for the outstanding expense while computing the taxable income. And hybrid system is accounting is an acceptable and approved system as per the judgment of the court as well. So it is the various bases of accounting. The most common and the basis are in trend are the cash basis of accounting and accrual basis accounting. But some of the professionals also adopt the hybrid or the mixed basis of accounting as well. So here are some in the exercise short questions are given to you. You have to do that short questions and very short questions also. So this is all about for the day. If anybody have any query in this chapter or all the chapters we have done previously, please feel free to ask your queries. Thank you. Have a nice day.